Hey ghouls, it's me, Krueger, the sweetest psychopath you'll ever meet, and welcome back to my channel. Alright, so today I kind of gave myself a little Jeffree Star bloodbath. I need to go ahead and use both palettes to create today's gross look, so if you're interested in seeing how I did this, then just keep on watching. Alright, so it's been a few days now since I did my first video using the Blue Blood palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and as I've been playing with it more, my opinion on it has changed a little. And I was watching other YouTubers do it. A friend of mine named Teresa's Dead kind of pointed out that this is very Mimi Bobak from Drew Carey, and if you don't know who that is, she's this lovely lady right here. You can see that she has got those blue garage doors, and she's fabulous. I absolutely adore her. She wears about almost as much makeup as I do. Just kidding, I should probably be wearing as much as her to hide the man. Yes, this is the Blue Blood palette. I'll let you guys know on my opinions right away. And this is of course the OG Blood Sugar palette, which I adore this palette so much. I love this palette. It's one of my fucking favorites. I did use a lot of the pinks, the purples, the dark reds, and some of this candy floss. And in Blue Blood, I went ahead and used and in Blue Blood, I used some of the dark blue shades. I used these two right here. I actually really like this shade. That one is Ice Tray. I actually used those two colors on the top of my liner today. I did use this one again, kind of in the corners and a little bit of the base of my eyeshadow. And then of course I put Entitled all over it because I am obsessed with that fucking bitch Entitled. And I do love the fucking shade Blue Blood itself. It's that perfect blue that I just love enough, and I did smoke out the top of it. And so my thoughts on Blue Blood, the reason I've changed is because, like I said, I am not a fan of blue eyeshadows, like, at all really. So this for me has become definitely a buddy palette, which means that I would use this palette, but definitely not by itself. I would definitely have to use it accompanied with another palette, because in my opinion, after I did use a lot of these colors throughout the days that I've been playing with this palette, after I blend out all the shadows together, it kind of looks the same. I feel this one's best used when you do accompany it with another palette like I did with Blood Sugar. With that said, like, is this a bad palette? Like, no. Like I said, the trouble I had was with this color did not show up as it does in pan. It did come off on me a little darker, and it was a bit patchy, and it did skip around when I tried to blend it. Today I just packed it on, so it worked a little better. Still not as bright as it is in the pan, but other than that, like, it worked pretty fine. Ocean Ice, I still don't like this color per se. It is very crumbly and like all TL shade. This color is so just gritty. It reminds me of Hot Topic used to have these eyeshadow palettes where they were like super glittery, and you're like, oh my god. So when I was like, my first experience in buying makeup, I saw those and thought it was gonna look like that on my eyes, and then you wipe it and you realize it's just wax with glitter on top and it looks like shit. Honestly, it's kind of how I feel. It is good if you do kind of use your finger or a really small brush to pack it on. I have not yet tried to put this on like my full lid because I'm just scared of how bad that might look. I'm gonna go. It feels soft, but then when you look at it, it's just kind of crumbly. Like, that looks beautiful, but I do feel this applies so much better with a finger than it would a brush, because I feel with the finger, at least I'm getting to push it in there and move it around. If I did that with a brush, I feel it would just kind of be a blue disaster. So I was gonna buy the Icy Betch palette to kind of do a side-by-side with it, but I decided not to because, once again, it's just blue eyeshadow, and I'm not a fan of blue eyeshadow, so I think I have enough blue eyeshadow for the rest of my life. With this, I won't really need anything else that's like pretty much an all blue palette. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that. So my overall thoughts on the palette though is the same. What does work works amazing, minus those like 2 colors that I had problems with. Other than that, if you are into blue shadow or a makeup collector, I say this is definitely something you should pick up. But like I said, it is not my favorite Jeffree Star palette. I think Blood Sugar and Alien hold the top for me when it comes to his line of eyeshadows. These two have been my favorite. My dogs were acting all crazy, so sorry, I had to go check on what they were fucking barking at. I'm like, everything's locked up and I'm like all by myself, but I always feel like anytime there's a noise or my dog's acting crazy, I have to go check what it was or I will not feel comfortable. I think it just takes me back. I was with my token straight friend one time. We were alone at his house playing video games, and he lived in this apartment complex. And my aunt also lived in the same apartment complex, just like a few units down from him. And there were these huge, like, nice apartments, and they're kind of like in this area where it was all kind of wooded area. And if you know where I'm from, that's kind of weird because I'm in a fucking desert and there's like no trees anywhere. But that's why this place was so nice, because there's just trees surrounding the entire apartment complex, and there was this like I think 6 units that went up into the mountains, and it was so pretty. It was also next to an insane asylum. And I remember one time standing on its balcony, being bad teenagers just smoking on his balcony. We had saw like someone escape, and like security chased them down and tackle them and drag them back inside. But unfortunately, one time, I remember we were at his house, and I've never been a big fan of like video games. I used to play like Sonic and Super Smash Bros. And all that type of shit, but I've never really been into like video games so much. I believe he was playing Halo, and I was kind of just sitting there, and I was just watching him play, like when we had nothing else to do. So I kind of just sitting there watching him play video games, and for the longest time, we were sitting there, because we were sitting there for like a good couple hours. I kept hearing like hooting, and like we really thought nothing of it. Like it was just like, oh, birds. He lived like on the 3rd, 2nd story apartment, and there's, like they said, there's trees everywhere, so there's always wildlife everywhere in that fucking apartment complex. But at the same time, his parents are friends with my aunt, my mom, and all that, and they're having a big cookout at my aunt's apartment complex. So I was hungry. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go grab food while you're playing. I'll be right back. And I step outside and I walk out, because the way the apartment complex was, it had like this little bridge that led out to like the path where like the parking lot and everything else was. And as I was halfway across that little bridge walking, there was another little platform that had just a bunch of bushes and trees. And I look down there and I see this man in a hospital gown just sitting cross-legged, like rocking back and forth, staring. And he is making that hooting noise. He is just seriously sitting there. Oh, I got chills thinking of it. He just looked absolutely insane. His eyes were like bugged out, and he was sitting there just going, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, how long have you been fucking sitting there? I've been hearing that noise for hours. And I kind of just stopped in my tracks and I looked down at him. Then the next thing you know, he like looks up at me, and I'm still there frozen. I get at this point, I'm like 14, 13 years old. I don't really remember. But he jumps up. He jumps off the little ledge he's on onto the stairs and is running up around the garden to the fucking bridge I'm on. And in my dumb ass, I fucking run back into the apartment. So scared out of my mind that this freak is chasing me, and I slammed the door behind me, and like a dumbass, I didn't lock the door. I just run back into my friend's room, and he just looks at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, oh my god, you'll never believe what I saw. And at that very moment, you fucking hear his front door swing open, and I just pushed my back against his door because he didn't have a lock on it. And he's like, what the fuck? And I told him, there's some guy outside pretending to be an owl, and I think he's just in your house. So we kind of just like keep quiet. When we look under the door, we could kind of see him like walking through, and he was wearing like paper shoes or something. I just remember it was really weird when we could see his feet as he's walking past. And we just kept quiet, and you could hear him walking through the whole house, and we heard him in the room next to us, I guess jumping on the bed or just knocking shit around. And then we didn't know what to do, and this is the time like I had to have been like at least 13 or something, because I didn't have a cell phone yet. My parents didn't give me one until like I was 14 or something. So I didn't have a phone, he didn't have a cell phone, but and it was a long time ago, we had landlines. The landline wasn't in his room, so we're like, what do we do? In my mind, I'm just kind of like, what we do is we run out the front door, we go get someone's parent, and call the police that there's some weird psycho in here. So on the count of 3, we look under the door, make sure he's not there. We bust open that door and we run out of the apartment and we fucking go across the fucking complex areas up to where my aunt's was. We tell, I think my cousin's dad, that there was some creep in the house, so he goes back to check, and nothing was stolen or damaged, but like stuff had been pushed over, like he was knocking stuff over. He had got into my friend's mom's closet and was just like pulling clothes out and throwing it. So the place was just a mess, but nothing was damaged and nothing was taken. But that was enough to like traumatize me. Every time I hear a strange noise, I have to go check to see what it is now. Just to make sure it's not some creep pretending to be a bird outside my window. But I don't live anywhere near an insane asylum like he did, so I'm pretty good, but hey, you never know. But anyways, like always, if you enjoyed me, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and please share it with your friends, your families, your dads, your uncles, your brothers, and tell them I said what's up. And if you want to hang out with me in between uploads, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Tara_Krueger. I'll leave that down in the description below. And thank you guys for watching. I see that I'm getting new subscribers like almost every day. I'm nowhere near 1,000 yet, but hey, it's a start. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching my videos, liking my videos, commenting down below. I always answer back. I love chatting with y'all. So if you ever want to ask me a question about makeup, horror, anything about me, whatever you want to know, answer down below and I'm happy to answer. So until the next time, I'll see you ghouls later.